Hey friends, and welcome back to the ScrapbookPal YouTube channel. My name is Sepia, and today I'm going to be sharing some Christmas tags that I made using the Christmas Minis Sizzix side order dies, plus the Seasonal Vibes #2 sentiments, and the Essential Tags by Spellbinders, which I thought would be a really fun thing to add in with these dies since they're approximately the same size as the elements on the Christmas mini dies there. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is I've pulled out all of the dies from the packaging. It's nice that all of the elements have their own die, like the snowman has its own, the gingerbread man has its own, so it's not all mixed together. But I decided to do it all in white anyway. Then I'm going to cut the smaller tag in white, 4 of them, and then some pattern papers for the bigger tag. Now that I've got everything out, I'm going to take my white pieces and run them through the embossing machine. And now I'm just going to use just a regular hole puncher to make a hole to line those up properly. I decided to color these instead of trying to use ink blending and do it that way. I just always think that coloring is much easier. So I'm using some shades of my Copics in green and red. I've used the G19, G12, and G14 for my greens. And for my reds, I'm using R29, R27, and R24. I will link everything down below, so if you have forgotten or I forgot to put the cap in the picture, just know that that's what I did. After I color them, I am assembling them. So right now I'm just assembling this candy cane piece. And now I'm moving on to the snowman. For the outline of the snowman, I'm using BG10 just to give it a nice snow feel with some texture. And then E79 for the snowflake's arms, YR04 for the carrot nose, and then some neutral grays for the hat. And now I'm just going to assemble them. All of these pieces are extremely tiny, so it is easy to use a sticky surface so that you don't lose those pieces. I actually didn't even bother using the little dots just because they get stuck onto my sweater and onto my hands. And so I just decided to use my gel pen to draw on some eyes instead of try to color those little dots and glue them on. And then I did use the carrot nose. I liked the shape of the carrot nose and it was big enough for me to kind of pick up. And then for the buttons, again, I'm using my gel pen just to draw those on. Really, I could have done those in any color, but I kind of wanted it to match with his hat. The next element I'm doing here is the gingerbread man. For that, I decided to use the E30s. I started with E39 and now I'm blending out with E37, and then I'm going to further blend that out with E35, and then finally I'm going to bring in E34 and just to complete that and give it a highlight in the middle. Kind of look like he's, toasted on the ends of the snowman. For the eyes and the mouth and the buttons, I decided to do the mouth in black just because he's going to have an open mouth there and white wouldn't have looked normal. But I did want to use white for his eyes, like just to kind of imagine him with icing, like putting icing on your gingerbread man. It's always in white, right? It's never really black. So I decided to use white, and I did bring in those dots that I had sitting on the side for that. And then just cleaning that up, making sure that there's nothing left over. Next, we're going to do the Santa, and I'm using the same shades of red, the R29, R27, and R24 for his hat. And I'm just blending that all out just to give it a nice shadow, and then assembling it. So I'm just going to take the hat, and it lines up perfectly with that base piece, so it makes it super easy. For his face, I decided to use the E30s again, except for this one's the lighter colors. So I've got E34 or E34, E31, and then I used E triple or 00 for the lightest color on his face. And then again, just lining that up with the hat, drawing on my eyes because I didn't want to color those little dots again. And then once I did his eyes, I brought in the pieces of the mustache and I'm just sticking those on. I put the glue on the face beforehand instead of putting it on the mustache part, just to make it easier. And now I'm taking N0 just to give his beard a gray look. And for the pom-pom on his hat, I did use a little bit of BG10, but that didn't show up. I think I cut that part out of the video by accident. For the holly berries, I'm using G19 and G14. And then I decided to use just R24 for those berries and then just color in and add some white detailing. I did bring back my gingerbread man and do the same thing on him, add some white detailing. And then same with the Santa, I put a little shadow line on his hat. So now I'm just going to use the smallest greetings that I have in that set so I know they're going to fit on the tag, and I'm just stamping in some green and red ink that I have in my stash for that. And once I stamped everything out, I didn't have the dies for this. I don't know if it actually comes with dies, but it's really easy to just fussy cut them out. So I ended up doing that to all the greetings just so that they would fit properly on the tags, and I didn't want all of that white space. So now I'm just assembling one of these on screen here for you just to show you how I did it. I mounted that Santa on some foam squares and then just stuck him down onto the white, the first part of the tag, and then just using some glue and some foam squares again for the greeting. And now we're just going to attach it to the background piece there. I have some gold ribbon here that I'm just going to cut. The bigger you do it, the easier it is. You don't have to do it giant, but like that size there, I want to say like 4 inches, just so you have a lot of space to work with. I find when ribbon and twine are small, it's harder to work with it. So leave yourself some space and then you can trim it off at the end. So I've got that in. I kind of folded it nicely over there so that it wouldn't move. And then I'm just getting my red and white twine, and I probably cut about 8 inches of that. And now I'm going to tie it around the gold ribbon. You can totally skip this part. If you wanted to do like a little bow with the gold ribbon and you didn't want to add this red and white twine, that would be completely fine too. It's just how you prefer to do the top of your tags. And I kind of like when there's 2 ribbons there. It just gives it more detail, and I like that it brought out the colors in that Santa. So I'm just going to kind of skip over here and show you how the rest of the tags here turned out. I did put some gold dots and some green embellishments on there just to make it stand out even further. And I can't wait to use these on some Christmas presents this year. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I've linked all of my supplies down below. If you are interested in continuing to watch, we will link up 2 videos further here. There's a brand new design team. I'd love for you to check out what they've been up to. Thanks for watching today, my friends, and have a fabulous week. Bye.